Welcome to the latest installment of the Indigo Lab. I'm your boy, Chef Radio. As always, we got King Karan on the director tip, and we got Nikki Nugs on the soundtrack. We appreciate you stopping by. This week, we're making an infused stir-fried noodle dish that we're putting a little bit of lamb in, doing something a little different. We're getting a little fancy on you motherfuckers. You feel me? Feel me? So, first things first, we're gonna make our infused stir-fry sauce. It's gonna be really, not really sweet, but sweet enough to kind of balance out with the spiciness that we're gonna add to the meat mixture. So let's get to infusing this sauce and fuck with me. I don't know why I say that. Yeah. All right, so got about 1.5 cups of soy sauce and about a 1/2 cup of mirin and a couple tablespoons of sesame oil that I put here in our little German burner. We're mainly just warming this sauce up so that all the sugar that we add to it can really break down in there and get nice and sweet. Cause like I said, the sauce is gonna be, or the noodles are gonna be really spicy, so I want the sweetness of the sauce to kind of balance everything out. So I got about a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cane sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of cane sugar, 1/4 brick, 1/2 brick, whole brick. Hey! I'm gonna put this here in our spice grinder. I'm not gonna add all of it. Got about 1 gram of our goody good, as always. I wanna show y'all how I break it down. I know sometimes I just tell you it's mixed up, but now I'm gonna show you how I mix it up in there. I want the brown sugar and the cane sugar to kind of rub against the hash in there to kind of break it down a little bit more so that it can melt easier in this soy sauce mixture. We'll add the rest of that in there. We're gonna let that sugar melt down, and once that's done, we're gonna take it off, let it cool down a little bit, and then we'll get going on the rest of the stir fry. It's gonna take a couple minutes, so we'll see you here in a bit. All right, now our brown sugar and cane sugar and hash is all nice and melted down in that soy sauce. So we're gonna put it here in our pitcher and just let that chill out until we're ready to use it in the rest of our stir fry. It smells really good. You can definitely smell the terpenes in the hash, but it's like terpenes and soy, so kind of an interesting mixture. Next step, we're gonna get to the stir fry. All right, so next steps to the stir fry. I'm gonna sweat out our cabbage a little bit and get some caramelization on there. Got our trusty dusty cast iron pan, as always. German burner. Appreciate the Germans for making the burner. This burner, not that burner. I know it looks like an intimidating amount of veggies in there, but once they sweat down, it won't look so bad. As you can see, it's already starting to break down a little bit. Compact in that pan. The key to caramelizing stuff like this is to kind of wait a couple minutes after you put it in the pan. Put it in the pan by itself, let it get going, and then add salt. When you add the salt, it's gonna break down a little bit more and bring more of that water out of the veggie. You can see a couple of the pieces already getting nice and brown on the edges. Salt as you go, so you don't over salt. Ugly chunk. We gotta get that out of there. It missed the quality control of my eye, I guess. Like I said, it'll take a couple of minutes for those veggies to sweat down, depending on how much you put in your pan. But I want them to keep a little bit of crunch to them, so I'm not going to saute them that much here. Yeah, that's about right where I want them. We're not making braised cabbage here. You want that crunch. Set that to the side. Now we'll get to making this lamb mixture. All right, so lamb mixture. Got a nice hot pan, got our nice cast iron pan, featured as always. Gonna put our ground lamb up in there. Whatever you can find in the store. You could use ground pork, ground chicken, turkey, whatever. I'm trying to get fancy on y'all, so we're doing lamb this week. And that lamb is a funky motherfucker, man. I can't lie. Like, it's just a different kind of smell in your house. A little bit more gamey if you're not used to it. Try it out. So it's gonna take a little bit for this lamb to brown. So check back here in a couple minutes. See where we're at. We'll start to add our spices and our aromatics and get it nice and ready for these noodles that we're about to make. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the one, not the two, as usual. I don't know how many ones we got, but we got a lot. All right, so now that our meat is browned about halfway through, I'm gonna add these onions in here. Got about a quarter of an onion I chopped up. This is a big onion. Let those sweat down in there with that nice lamb fat. You can add and subtract whatever you want in this stir fry. If you don't like onions, don't use onions. If you don't like the peppers that I'm using, use a different pepper. It's very versatile. This is kind of just like one of those base recipes that you can interpret whatever way you want to. This is just the Indigo Lab's interpretation of what we're doing with these noodles today. That lamb is really funky, so I wanted to make sure we added a lot of flavor to it to kind of counteract with that gamey taste. I don't mind the taste, but you know, whoever you're eating this with might. So you got to keep that in mind. I like how it browned though. It browned really nice on that bottom. We shooting, people. Shit. Come on now. So, next piece that I'm adding to the mix is a mixture of Fresno pepper that I minced up, along with some ginger and about 4 cloves of garlic. 4 or 5 cloves. I don't know. I lost count. Add that in. And then we'll add a couple tablespoons of green onion. Yeah. Now it's smelling beautiful. So, now that we added our aromatics in there, let them get nice and acquainted with that lamb and the onion. We got about a tablespoon of Chinese five spice. We got some fennel pollen. We got black pepper, and we got some salt. Put that in there. Get in there! Yeah, yeah.
I remember when that song came out.
Man.
Everybody was wrong.
Family reunions ain't never been the same. Turn your heat down so you don't burn up your aromatics. Woo! Almost there, people. I think I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. So, as that's going, I'm gonna add a little bit more sesame oil to our prepared udon noodles. I got the pack at the store and just warmed them up. Warm them up 2 minutes. You can use whatever noodle you want, but I like the udon. Add a little bit of oil to those, shake them up. We're gonna add our sauce now, sauce Walker. Let that start to break down in there. Woo! I'm telling you, if we had smell-o-vision, y'all would lose your mind. So as you let that go, probably about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, kind of see it thicken up. Obviously with the fat and the sugar in there, it's kind of making an emulsion and reducing down a little bit. But you don't want to reduce too much because the noodles and everything else is kind of soak up that residual that's left over. So as that's going, cabbage, say hello to Sauce Walker. Get a nice mix. Man. We'll gradually add these noodles. Don't you leave. Get in there. And depending on how hot and how big your pan is, this could be a quick process. Obviously, I made it hard on myself, but hey, we all make mistakes. I think we're there. Ooh, I'm feeling that tea. The tea is hitting me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely gonna do a small portion of this.
That tea's hitting there.
Bruh. It just hit me like just now. Like,
At the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, this is.
I love it. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our infused stir-fried lamb noodles. I think we're gonna name this the ShoNuff. Who is the master?
When I say, who's the master, you say, ShoNuff.
I was watching that shit the other day, man. I had to do something for the culture. These are the ShoNuff noodles. I'm Chef Radio. We appreciate you stopping by the Indigo Lab every week. We have new cannabis cuisine innovations coming every week. Please like, comment, subscribe. We got new stuff coming for you every week. We love you. Please continue to show us love. We will show you love back. Shout out till next week. Peace.